Welcome to day 5 of the Changing the Score project from Rio de Janeiro. As a recap for those of you who've been with us all week, and for those of you joining us for the first time in this diary, this is a joint venture project between Bluestone Edge, RMIT University and my colleague Dr. Elizabeth Cath, and also IBISS, an organisation working for the last 20 years or so in the favelas of Rio to increase people's access to a range of community services that every person should have in accordance with their human rights, and also to use everyday practices like sport as a vehicle for social inclusion. Today got a little bit more raw and real for the players when we went into a community that was less developed than the others and had more complexity and more difficulty, and we visited a really quite impressive project called Luta, pela, which means fighting for peace, which is a mixed martial arts and boxing gym. Some of the things that came out of that I'm going to let Jake King talk to you about in a moment, but for me there was a couple of things that were really critical. One was to hear them talking about how everything that they do has a foundation in the values that they believe in, and one of those values which really struck me today was embracing. So it's about embracing the possibility of your life and your hopes and dreams, and it was also about embracing somebody even if they get it wrong, take a wrong left turn, stuff up, giving them another opportunity and embracing them to suggest that their rights, their opportunities, their way of life is as important as the next person's. I thought that really resonated with me, it really resonated with the players, and it was a fantastic way to start thinking about how to lead when you're working in communities with this kind of issue.
Day 5 in Rio, and the boys couldn't have asked for a better start to the day. And it turns out that the boys' surfing is as bad as my dancing. So after the fun stuff, it was now time to get back to work. So now we arrived to our new destination, and we were sitting there for about 5 to 10 minutes right near where the gym was that we were about to attend. So we had to wait for our friends from IBISS to come and tell us that it was safe enough to walk through the streets. It definitely did put the boys on edge. Once we got the okay, we then made our way down to Luta, pela, which is a MMA and boxing academy, which also helps the kids in another form of sport. The culture and the way that they got taught wasn't all that different to how we learned back at home. It was a lot to do with leadership, respect, and knowing that just because they were learning to do their MMA and their boxing, it didn't mean that they were going to take it out onto the street. It was a thing about respect and learning that once they had mastered the craft of the MMA and the boxing, they then knew that they were comfortable walking down the streets and knowing that they didn't have to fight. I can relate to where these young kids are coming from, because when I was younger, the sports in regards to MMA, boxing and football showed me the leadership and the responsibilities, and took me down the path that I actually needed to go down to be the person I am today. I was lucky enough to go downstairs and put the gloves on and have a bit of a roll around with one of their professional boxers who was 23 years of age and 15-0, It was really good to move about and have a bit of a joke around and a laugh. And it's because of places like Luta, pela that it gives these kids a brighter future and gives them a lot of hope to know that there are people out there who care about them and are willing to give them a go.